What if I told you that some of R&B's most talented stars were once at the top of their careers, only to be shut out by the very industry they helped shape? From R. Kelly being blacklisted to Michelle being dropped by her record label, these artists brought something special to the genre, but were pushed aside. Here are 14 R&B stars who faced setbacks in the industry. R. Kelly. R. Kelly first became known in 1991 when he performed with the group Public Announcement, but it was his solo music, especially albums like 12 Play and R, that really made him famous as a creative R&B artist. He was not just known for singing. R. Kelly also wrote and produced songs for other musicians. Some of his well-known work includes Aaliyah's Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, Michael Jackson's You Are Not Alone, and Maxwell's Fortunate. These songs showed how much he influenced R&B music. His own songs like Bump and Grind, Ignition Remix, and the uplifting I Believe I Can Fly became big hits. I Believe I Can Fly even won 3 Grammy Awards, including Best Male R&B Singer and Best Song Written for a Movie or TV Show. Over more than 20 years, R. Kelly received many awards. He won 110 awards out of 274 nominations. These included American Music Awards, BET Awards, Soul Train Music Awards, Billboard Music Awards, NAACP Image Awards, and MOBO Awards. He sold more than 30 million albums in the United States, making him one of the best-selling artists in the country. Rolling Stone magazine once called him one of the most important R&B musicians of the 1990s and 2000s. He became a regular name on music charts and helped shape the sound of modern R&B, both through his own music and by working with others. But his music career changed completely after many serious legal problems. For years, there had been stories and accusations against him. In 2019, a documentary called Surviving R. Kelly came out. It got a lot of attention and led to new investigations. In 2021, he was found guilty in New York of crimes like trafficking and running a criminal group. He was sentenced to many years in prison. After that, many music platforms, radio stations, and artists stopped working with him, and his songs were removed from many music playlists. Places that had once honored him also took back awards and titles. For example, the city of Baton Rouge took away the key to the city that he received in 2013. Even though the Recording Academy said it would not take back his Grammy Awards, R. Kelly is no longer seen at music events and is no longer part of the music industry. LaToya Luckett. As one of the original members of Destiny's Child, LaToya Luckett found early success. She won 2 Grammy Awards and helped the group sell over 25 million records. She was part of hit songs like No No No, Bills Bills Bills, Jumpin' Jumpin', and Say My Name. Her time in the group showed she was a strong singer and performer. But things changed in 2000 when LaToya and Latavia Robertson were suddenly removed from the group. They were replaced without warning, and fans saw the change happen in music videos and public statements. This sudden exit left LaToya without a group and without the musical connections that had helped Destiny's Child become famous. She later said that this time was very hard for her, both professionally and personally. She tried to start a new group called Angel, but it did not succeed because the company behind it shut down. For a while, she found herself outside an industry that often supports only those with strong connections. Even with these challenges, her solo career got off to a strong start. She signed with Capitol Records, and in 2006, her first album, LaToya, went straight to #1 on the Billboard 200 and R&B chart. This was a rare achievement for a new solo artist, and she joined Beyoncé as the only Destiny's Child member to do it. The album sold over 1 million copies in just a few months. The hit song Torn reached #2 on the R&B chart and was played often on BET's 106 & Park. Fans and critics praised her singing and songwriting. She was named one of the best new artists of 2006 by AOL Music, was listed in Wrap-Up's Top 5 Breakthrough Artists, and got nominations from the NAACP, Soul Train, and Teen Choice Awards. ASCAP also honored her as the top songwriter of 2006. However, just as things were going well, she faced more challenges. When Capitol Records merged with Virgin Records, the company stopped spending money to promote her music. This affected how well her singles did. For example, a song called Obvious, which Billboard said had a lot of potential, was never officially released because of these changes. Her second album, Lady Love, came out in 2009, but was delayed several times and did not get much support. Although she kept making music, going on tour, and acting, changes in the music industry and the lasting effects of how she left Destiny's Child meant that she never fully got the recognition many felt she deserved. Adina Howard. Adina Howard made a big splash in 1995 with her first album, Do You Wanna Ride? The album featured the hit song Freak Like Me, which reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a powerful anthem for self-confidence and freedom, especially for women of color. The album went gold and sold over 1 million copies, bringing her both praise from critics and major success in the music world. Howard stood out because of her bold and fearless style at a time when many female R&B singers were expected to be more reserved. Her songs and image were seen as daring, with tracks like Freaky Like Me and T-Shirt and Panties, which she wrote with Jamie Foxx, breaking the mold and challenging unfair rules in the music industry. These songs are now considered R&B classics, but they also stirred up controversy and made her a target for criticism. Even though she started strong, Howard's career ran into serious challenges. Many people believe she was pushed out of the spotlight by the music industry. Trouble started when she was working on her second album, Welcome to Fantasy Island. Her label thought the lead song, T-Shirt and Panties, was too sexual for radio and decided not to support it. Disagreements with the label and unease with her public image caused the album to be shelved, which hurt her career just as it was taking off. More issues followed in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Albums were delayed, poorly promoted, or caught up in legal problems. Her third album, The Second Coming, suffered from weak marketing, and the video for her song Nasty Grind, which showed her topless, was only played late at night, limiting its reach. Because of these problems, Howard lost many chances to promote her music, and her songs got less radio play, even though she clearly had talent and influence. Still, Howard's contributions to R&B are important. She has won several awards and received praise for her independent projects, like the album Resurrection and the single Switch, which won Best Dance Club Single of the Year at the 2013 UB Honors. Her music continues to connect with fans, and songs like Freak Like Me and T-Shirt and Panties are still loved today. Many newer artists say they were inspired by her work and the bold path she helped pave. Jay Holiday. Jay Holiday started his music career with his first album, Back of My Lack, which became popular thanks to the hit song, Bed. That song reached number 5 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and stayed at the top of the R&B and hip-hop chart for 5 weeks. It got a lot of radio play and praise from music critics. The album also did very well, landing at number 5 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the R&B and hip-hop albums chart. It sold over 105,000 copies in its first week, and later earned a gold certification for selling over 500,000 copies. Other songs like Suffocate also helped build his name, and Rolling Stone listed Bed as one of the best 100 songs of 2007. Because of his early success, Jay Holiday was nominated for a Grammy in 2009 for Best Contemporary R&B Album. He was mentioned alongside big stars like Mary J. Blige. He also got nominated for an American Music Award for Favorite Soul and R&B Male Artist, which showed how quickly he had gained respect in the R&B world. His second album, Round 2, released in 2009, opened at number 4 on the Billboard 200, proving he could keep up his success. Songs like It's Yours showed how much he had grown as a singer, and his emotional songs were well liked by fans and critics. However, things got harder for Jay Holiday after that. He had problems with his record labels and didn't get as much support from the music industry. After leaving Capitol Records, he joined Def Jam, but his third album, Guilty Conscience, was delayed many times. It was finally released on its own in 2014 and reached number 42 on the R&B and hip-hop chart. In interviews, Jay Holiday talked honestly about how hard it is to be an independent artist. He said that after his first success, major labels didn't support him the same way anymore, which made it harder to stay in the spotlight and promote his music. Even with these struggles, Jay Holiday has kept making music and performing. He still has loyal fans and is respected for sticking with his music. His later work, like the album Time, released in 2022, and songs like 25 to Life and Feel Like, show that he still loves real R&B music while trying to adjust to how the music world is changing. He has also joined tours, giving back through charity work, and helped guide younger artists. Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell grew up in Waxahachie, Texas, where he started singing gospel music at his local church. When he was just 12 years old, he was discovered by jazz musician Bobby Humphrey. Soon after, he signed a deal with Warner Brothers Records and was introduced to a wider audience by the famous music producer Quincy Jones. His first song with Jones, Tomorrow, A Better You, Better Me, became a #1 hit on the Billboard R&B chart in 1990, launching his career in a big way. His first album, Tevin, came out in 1991 and included popular songs like Tell Me What You Want Me to Do, which reached #6 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Alone With You. The album sold very well and was certified platinum. It also earned him a Grammy nomination for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. He followed this with the 1993 album I'm Ready, which featured hit songs like Can We Talk and the title track I'm Ready. These songs showed off his strong voice and deep emotion, and people began comparing him to music legends like Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. Throughout his career, Campbell collected many awards and honors. He received several Grammy nominations for songs like Round and Round, Tevin, Can We Talk, and I'm Ready. He also won a Soul Train Award for Best R&B Single by a Male Artist for Can We Talk. His albums did well on the charts, with Tevin reaching #38 on the Billboard 200 and #5 on the R&B chart. I'm Ready also received praise from both fans and music critics. But things changed in the mid-1990s. His third album, Back to the World, released in 1996, didn't do as well. Even though he worked with top producers like Babyface and Sean Puffy Combs, the album only reached gold status, which was a step down from his earlier platinum success. Support from his record label and radio stations dropped off sharply. A big part of this change, according to some people in the industry, had to do with his image and how he was seen by others. In the music video for the lead single, Campbell wore a braided bob hairstyle and clothing inspired by 1970s disco. At a time when hip-hop's tough image was very popular, his look stood out and made people talk. Many believed it confirmed old rumors about his sexuality. Homophobia in the music industry made things harder for Campbell. His record label stopped giving him the top producers and songs that had helped him succeed earlier. The industry's discomfort with how he was perceived, along with the rise of new stars like Usher and Genuine, made it harder for Campbell to stay in the spotlight. Campbell has spoken openly about the pressure he faced being marketed as a sex symbol. He also talked about how his love songs have remained popular, especially with the help of social media. For example, his song Can We Talk became a trend on TikTok. Even though the music industry tried to push him aside, Campbell's music still has a lasting impact. His songs continue to inspire new R&B artists and remind people of his unique talent. Amerie. Amerie became popular in the early 2000s after teaming up with music producer Rich Harrison, who helped shape her first album, All I Have. The album came out in 2002, entered the Billboard 200 chart at #9, went gold, and featured the hit R&B song, Why Don't We Fall in Love? Around that time, Amerie toured with stars like Usher and Nas, and worked with other big names like LL Cool J, helping her become well-known in the music world. Her second album, Touch, released in 2005, made her even more popular, especially thanks to the hit song, One Thing. That track reached #8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the most memorable R&B songs of the decade. Its creative use of drums and funky rhythms made it stand out and earned her Grammy nominations for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best Contemporary R&B Album. One Thing was also nominated for awards by MTV, BET, Vibe, and the Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards, and it won Club Banger of the Year at the Vibe Awards. Amerie also won a Soul Train Music Award for Best New Artist and was nominated for several other awards, including BET, NAACP Image, MOBO, and Teen Choice Awards. Even with all her early success, Amerie faced major problems in her career. After Touch, her third album, Because I Love It, in 2007, was delayed many times and didn't get much support in the US, even though the single Take Control did well in the UK. This was surprising, considering how well she had done before. Many people, including fans and industry insiders, believe that her label didn't support her because they disagreed with her creative ideas and how much control she wanted over her music. Things got even harder as R&B music started changing in the late 2000s. More artists were mixing pop and electronic sounds, and those who stuck to traditional or experimental R&B styles, like Amerie, didn't always get support from big record labels. Her fourth album, In Love and War, released in 2009, showed how talented she was by blending hip-hop, soul, rock, and 70s style music. But again, the album didn't get much promotion in the US, and many people didn't hear about it. Despite these struggles, Amerie kept making music on her own and has stayed important in the R&B scene. Many new artists say her unique sound inspired them. Outside of music, Amerie is also known for giving back. She supports education and reading and started Amerie's Book Club to promote diversity in literature. Carrie Hilson. Carrie Hilson became widely known after featuring on Timbaland's 2007 hit song, The Way I Are. The track reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and hit number 1 in several countries, launching her into the spotlight. This success led to her first album, In a Perfect World, in 2009. The album opened at number 4 on the US Billboard 200 and number 1 on the R&B hip-hop chart. It went gold and produced several hits, including Knock You Down with Kanye West and Ne-Yo, which was nominated for a Grammy. Other popular songs from the album, like Turnin' Me On with Lil Wayne and Energy, helped establish her as a rising star in R&B. Hilson received 2 Grammy nominations, including one for Best New Artist. She also won several other major awards, such as a BET Award, a MOBO Award, an NAACP Image Award, and 2 Soul Train Music Awards. Her popularity stretched beyond the US, with her single I Like topping charts in Germany, Poland, and Slovakia. She was even recognized at the American Music Awards. However, things changed after her second album, No Boys Allowed, came out in 2010. Although it featured the hit song Pretty Girl Rock, which went platinum, the album didn't perform as well as her first. Soon after, Hilson began to fade from the mainstream music scene. Many believe her career decline was linked to rumors of feuds with Beyoncé and Ciara. Fans thought some of Hilson's lyrics and comments were aimed at those artists, leading to major backlash online. Because she didn't publicly explain or deny the rumors, the criticism grew stronger. On top of that, the music industry often protects its biggest stars, so Hilson's relationships with labels and collaborators weakened. Radio stations and music partners started distancing themselves from her, making it hard for her to keep her career going. After facing years of industry pushback and public pressure, she stopped releasing music for more than 10 years. In 2025, she finally returned with a new single called Bay and her album We Need to Talk. Chrisette Michele. Michele, known for her jazz-influenced voice and emotional songwriting, quickly became popular after releasing her debut album I Am in 2007 with Def Jam Records. The album showed off her vocal abilities and creativity with songs like If I Have My Way, Best of Me, and Be Okay. The song Be Okay won her a Grammy Award for Best Urban/Alternative Performance in 2009. Her early success continued with collaborations with big hip-hop and R&B artists such as Jay-Z, Nas, The Roots, and Ghostface Killah, as well as a co-headlining tour with Raheem DeVaughn. Michelle's next albums, Epiphany 2009, Let Freedom Reign 2010, and Better 2013, all landed in the top 10 on Billboard's R&B albums chart, with Epiphany debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Her single, Epiphany, I'm Leaving, became a fan favorite and was certified gold by the RIAA in 2024, making it her first gold certification as a lead artist. Her music connected with audiences through songs like A Couple of Forevers and her collaboration with Rick Ross on Aston Martin Music. Michelle's achievements include a Grammy win, nominations for the BET Awards, NAACP Image Awards, and Soul Train Awards, among others. However, in 2017, Michelle's career took a major hit when she performed at President Donald Trump's inauguration. This decision led to strong criticism from fans and fellow artists, many of whom saw her participation in the event as controversial. As a result, she was dropped from her record label, Capitol Records, faced boycotts, canceled performances, and lost mainstream support. The backlash overshadowed her music, and she became an example of the risks artists face when they make political or polarizing choices in the public eye. Despite this setback, Michelle has continued to make and release music through her own label, Rich Hipster, showing her resilience and dedication to her craft. Albums like Milestone 2016 and Out of Control 2018, along with singles such as Wait 2020 and Steady, show her growth as an artist. In 2024, she started a podcast called Come Back Sis, marking a new chapter focused on storytelling and healing. If you are enjoying this video, appreciate it by giving it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Eric Benet. Benet, originally from Milwaukee, started his music career in the late 1980s with the group Gerard. He later formed a family band, Benet, with his sister Lisa and cousin George Nash Jr. The group's self-titled album, released in 1992, sold over 100,000 copies. Benet's solo debut, True to Myself, 1996, marked his rise as a soulful voice in neo-soul and R&B, with hits like Spiritual Thing and Let's Stay Together, gaining widespread attention. His big break came with his second album, A Day in the Life, 1999, which featured the hit duet Spend My Life With You with Tamia. The song topped the U.S. Billboard R&B charts for 3 weeks, went gold, and earned a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Performance by a duo or group with vocals. The album won a Soul Train Music Award for Best R&B Soul Album, Male, and earned several NAACP Image Award nominations, solidifying Benet as a top artist in contemporary R&B. Despite his early success, Benet faced challenges in his career. After his breakthrough, he ran into creative and contractual issues with Warner Brothers Records. In the early 2000s, he recorded an album called Better and Better, which was a departure from his usual sound. However, Warner Brothers refused to release it, pressuring him to stick to traditional R&B. This conflict led to Benet leaving the label, which delayed his next album and slowed his career at a crucial point. Benet's determination led him to sign with Friday Records, a label distributed by Reprise, where he released Hurricane, 2005. The lead single, I Wanna Be Loved, reached number 2 on the Urban Adult Contemporary chart, proving his lasting appeal despite the industry struggles. He continued to release successful albums, including Love and Life, 2008, which debuted at number 11 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 on the top R&B hip-hop pop albums chart. The album earned 2 Grammy nominations, including Best R&B Album and Best Male R&B Vocal Performance for the song You're the Only One. His later albums, such as Lost in Time, 2010, and The One, 2012, continued to showcase his versatility, with the song Sometimes I Cry hitting #1 on the Hot Adult R&B Songs chart and earning another Grammy nomination. Benet's achievements include 4 Grammy nominations, multiple NAACP Image Award nominations and wins, a Soul Train Music Award, and an ASCAP Pop Award for Songwriter of the Year. Beyond music, Benet has also acted in film and television and is involved in charitable work, further contributing to his diverse legacy. Tank. Tank started his career as a backing vocalist for Aaliyah and Genuine before signing with Blackground Records in 1998. He launched his solo career in 2001 with the hit song Maybe I Deserve, which made its way onto the Billboard Hot 100. This success helped his debut album, Force of Nature, land in the top 10 of the Billboard 200. His next album, One Man, 2002, and the Grammy-nominated Sex, Love and Pain, 2007, solidified his place in R&B. Sex, Love and Pain peaked at #2 on the Billboard 200 and earned a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Album. Tank's talents extend beyond his own music. He has written and produced songs for major artists like Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland, Jamie Foxx, Chris Brown, Alicia Keys, and Monica, becoming a key figure behind the scenes. His collaborative spirit also led to the formation of TGT, an R&B supergroup with Tyrese and Genuine. Their album Three Kings debuted at #3 on the Billboard 200 and was praised for bringing back the spirit of male R&B groups. Over the course of 10 studio albums, including Now or Never, 2010, This Is How I Feel, 2012, and R&B Money, 2022, Tank has consistently topped R&B charts and adapted to changing musical trends. Hits like When We from Savage, 2017, earned platinum certification. Despite his impressive career, Tank has faced challenges. He has spoken out about the lack of mainstream radio support and recognition for traditional R&B artists, especially as hip-hop and pop became the dominant genres. Tank has expressed frustration that the industry often favors rappers who sing, even if off-key, over skilled vocalists like himself. His 2014 album Stronger, which embraced a retro R&B sound, struggled with disappointing sales and minimal radio play. Tank even considered it might be his last album due to the lack of support from the industry and labels. However, he bounced back with Savage, 2017, which included the platinum hit When We, and later albums continued to perform well. Tank has received 4 Grammy nominations, a Soul Train Music Award nomination, and an American Music Award nomination in 2021 for Favorite Soul R&B Male Artist. He has also been recognized for his songwriting and production. His podcast, R&B Money, was nominated for Best Work of Music Journalism at the 2023 International Music Journalism Awards. Besides music, Tank has acted in films and television and has influenced many artists through mentoring and collaborations. In recent years, Tank announced he would retire from recording after his 10th album, R&B Money, citing hearing loss as a major factor. Dawn Richard. Richard gained fame as a founding member of Danity Kane, which rose to popularity after appearing on MTV's Making the Band 3 in 2004. The group, signed to Bad Boy Records, sold over 1 million copies of their debut album. However, internal conflicts and label issues caused the band to break up in 2009. Richard later joined Diddy Dirty Money and contributed to the album Last Train to Paris in 2010, which showcased her versatility in pop, R&B, and electronic music. After both groups disbanded, Richard focused on her solo career. Her early mixtapes and debut album Been a While, 2005, showed her willingness to experiment. However, it was her trilogy of albums Golden Heart, 2013, Blackheart, 2015, and Redemption, 2016, that really established her as an innovator in alternative R&B and electronic music. These albums received praise for their unique sound and emotional depth, charting highly in the R&B and dance/electronic categories. Her later albums, New Breed, 2019, and Second Line, 2021, further solidified her as a trailblazer. Second Line was especially praised, with the Wall Street Journal calling it possibly her best work. Her music blends electronic, dance, R&B, and even house and tribal sounds, setting her apart in mainstream R&B. Despite critical success, Richard faced challenges in the industry. After Danity Kane's success, her solo work received less radio play and label support than expected. She has spoken out about the difficulties of being a Black woman making experimental music in an industry that often limits artists by race and genre, saying, "I am the genre," in response to being categorized. Tinashe. Tinashe started her career as a child actress before joining the girl group The Stunners. She later gained recognition as a solo artist with mixtapes like In Case We Die, 2012, Reverie, 2012, and Blackwater, 2013, blending alternative R&B, pop, and electronic sounds. Her breakout came with the 2014 hit single, 2 On, featuring Schoolboy Q, which reached number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped the rhythmic airplay chart, bringing attention to her debut album, Aquarius. The album was praised as one of the best debuts by a new female artist and earned her several award nominations. However, Tinashe's relationship with the music industry became strained. While her debut was well received for its genre fusion, her following projects with RCA Records, like Night Ride, 2016, and Joyride, 2018, faced delays and inconsistent promotion. Tinashe has spoken about feeling creatively held back by the label, which tried to push her into a more mainstream pop image. This tension led to her departure from RCA in 2019, after which she began releasing music independently. Tinashe's independent work has received renewed praise, with albums like Songs for You, 2019, 333, 2020, and Bibi Angifil, 2023, showcasing her creative freedom and emotional depth. Her 2024 album Quantum Baby continues this trend, and her single Nasty became a viral hit, reaching number 61 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topping the rhythmic radio chart. Her accolades reflect her impact on R&B and pop, with nominations for multiple awards, including BET and Soul Train Awards, and a win for Best Contemporary Song at the Ivor Novello Awards in 2016. In 2021, she contributed vocals to Kate Renata's Grammy-winning album, Bubba. Mia. Maya burst onto the music scene in 1998 with her self-titled debut album, quickly becoming a major figure in R&B and pop. Known for her smooth voice, dance moves, and stage presence, her debut album went double platinum and produced hits like It's All About Me, featuring Cisco, Movin' On, and My First Night With You. Her single, Case of the Ex, What You Gonna Do, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, making her a chart-topping artist. By the early 2000s, she had 9 top 10 hits and had sold over 6 million albums worldwide. Mia's influence grew with key collaborations, including the 2001 Grammy-winning remake of Lady Marmalade with Christina Aguilera, Lil' Kim, and Pink for the Moulin Rouge. Soundtrack. The song topped the charts in over 15 countries and became a cultural hit. Her second album, Fear of Flying, went multi-platinum, earning nominations from Soul Train and the MOBO Awards. By then, Mia had become a leading figure in the music world, selling over 20 million records globally and receiving awards like a Grammy, 2 MTV Video Music Awards, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Critics' Choice Movie Award. Billboard even listed her among the Hot 100 artists of the 2000s. Despite her success, Mia faced challenges. After her fourth album, Liberation, 2007, was leaked and received mixed reviews, she left her major label. Without the label's backing, Mia took control of her career by starting her own label, Planet 9. She began releasing music independently, including albums like Sugar and Spice, 2008, and KISS, Keep It Sexy and Simple, 2011, which were mainly aimed at her Japanese fan base. In 2014, she returned to her R&B roots with a series of independently released albums and EPs, including With Love, Sweet 616, and Smooth Jones, 2016, which earned a Grammy nomination. In 2018, she released TKO, The Knockout, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of her debut, proving her longevity and resilience in the music industry. Which of these R&B stars' fallout with the industry shocked you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest content.